games, comics, anime. Codenamed Epic.
Thank you so much for waiting, and welcome to Assist Me panel at Anime Conji 2012. You guys might recognize me if you're familiar with Assist Me. My name is Max. I make internet videos, in summary. And joining me are our co-star of the show, Annie, running around the stage. Our props, costume, and overall one of our design coordinators, Mike, who plays Wesker and Deadpool, to my right. And Rocket Raccoon. To my left, what I can't recognize him without a costume, but it's Matt Simmons. He plays one of the more important characters in the show. Yeah, he plays the lighting guy. Good call. He's actually Doctor Doom unmasked. To the left of him is DJ, and DJ is actually playing the star role in the latest episode of Assist Me, featuring Chris Redfield, and he actually is Chris. Yes. And to the left of DJ is Andrew, I believe. Am I right? Yes. Andrew is our DP, our lighting coordinator, camera operator, and overall producer of the show, along with myself. So shout outs to these guys. So I like to get things started pretty quickly with the show to give you guys a taste. We're going to go over a little bit of the history of Assist Me, how it came to be, what happened in Season 1, what happened when we got hired by Capcom to do Ultimate Assist Me, the side story, and now what's going to happen with Season 2. But before that, for you guys that might not have seen the stuff that's happening with Season 2 of Assist Me and Chris, I'm going to fire up the trailer. So give me just a second. Okay, here we go, guys. The trailer for Chris Assist Me.
Infection duration depends on the size of the wound and its proximity to a major blood vessel. Reanimation will occur no later than 1 to 5 minutes after the victim's primary life functions have expired.
Things are out of control down below. The city of Los Angeles is like a war zone. These creatures, these zombies, or whatever the hell they are swarming the city.
Thank you guys very much, and if you like that, during the end, or getting closer to the duration of this panel, we're going to show you the entire intro to Chris Assist Me. So you're going to get a sneak peek of what's going to be showing up. I think it's going to come out early next week, is on my current schedule. So let's get this thing started. Assist Me began in about March of last year. For you guys that don't know, Assist Me is a tutorial series revolving around the game Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and now Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Maybe the dog will stop moving. No, it's okay. And it's just meant to give people a general idea of what's going on with the characters, how to understand each character, how to play the game. And it's so difficult to tell. Here with the puppy. To play the game and understand the enjoyment and having fun playing video games. Because when you get taught things online, a lot of people have seen how tutorials are for games. They're text on screen things, you do what it says and that's how it goes. But I wanted to make it fun, and I wanted to make it funny. And here's where these guys come in. So Andrew initially was going to film school. He actually might still be. And I'm like, dude, you want to take your film school experience and take it to the internet? And essentially we did that briefly, and we were able to take advantage of, you were going to, was it CSUN or? CSUN. Yeah, CSUN, and they gave us a huge library of dogs going down. They gave us this huge library of equipment and lights and stuff we needed to put on in production. I just wanted it to look good and look different than what you would normally see like on the internet. So that's essentially what happened. Andrew came in, started setting up lights, and we brought in someone to play the part of Doom, and I didn't know like who exactly was going to do it at first, and then I kind of wrote the character on my friend here, Matt Simmons. Say hi, Matt.
Hello. Yeah, for a little backstory, like Andrew was originally going to play Dr. Doom, and then Andrew basically came up with this, I think Simmons should play Dr. Doom. And then I think I remember the conversation because originally Doom was not going to be the first character we showed. It was actually going to be like a Wesker. And then Max contacted me and said, "Do any of your cosplay buddies could do Wesker?" I'm like, ha ha ha. And so like I immediately went to like my DA page and I'm like, I pulled up one of the pictures of Mike in costume. Like, that's great. And then a little after that, we kind of, well, let's do like more like a test video, I guess was the idea first. Like, let's see how we can pull this off before, like, because Mike lives down here and we film up in Santa Monica, and we basically decided, let's do Doom first. We'll just go with Doom first. And Andrew pretty much came with this like idea, like, let's get Simmons to be Doom. And I think we were at like a friend's house one night, like, hey, do you want to play Dr. Doom in a TV show or a web show? And I'm like, yeah. Like, yeah, just kind of like, sure, whatever. And then I'm like, oh shit, I gotta like actually, how do I make Doom? And that's, we kind of started all collaborating from there, like, because if you notice with the show, the characters aren't exactly 100% faithful representations of their source material.
We give them some very like human or non-human aspects to them, just because of drunk and stuff like that.
Yeah, so everyone has a crux or like a fault or something that's goofy about them. Doom, I basically made a narcissistic asshole. A lot of people are like, oh, it's so much like Strongman. And I'm like, I guess I kind of see that, but the way I just basically...
I see him as Bender.
My Doom is a combination of Bender and Master Shake from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
The greatest human ever.
And that's how I portrayed Dr. Doom in the show. So if anyone wants to, like, you know, pick apart how I came up with my representation of Doom, that's it.
And I kind of like wrote Doom as, you know, the character he is. He talks in third person. He's very boastful about himself and he thinks he's the greatest, but then Simmons brought this level of like depth to the character of like Master Shake-ish depth to the character, and it actually was really funny. If any of you guys happen to see the outtakes for the first season of Assist Me when it was just Dr. Doom, there's some pretty crazy stuff he comes up with just on the fly, and I would be surprised that you didn't have any history with like, you know, performing arts and theater and stuff like that, because it comes through pretty well on camera.
I've done some masquerades.
That counts.
Me and Mike had an amazing masquerade at Anime Expo one year. I don't remember, what, 05 or something? Sure. We did like a Resident Evil masquerade skit. It was awesome.
So yeah, that's another big thing is that you, Matt and Mike have been doing this like costuming, kind of performing thing for a while, and essentially what Assist Me was doing for the first few episodes was just capturing that on camera. I realized that these guys have not a lot of natural like team synergy, LOL. But it was really neat how even the first couple of episodes I wanted Doom to be the first character, and I thought it went okay. Like I look back at it now and I'm just like, oh geez, internet videos. But then I look at like the Wesker one, and I think Wesker's a really fun episode, and that's when we'll get into episode 2 where we brought in Mike to play the part of Midnight Wesker, the Midnight Wesker outfit, which is the one everyone might be familiar with from Marvel 3. That was a crazy episode. Who saw Assist Me with Wesker? Okay, so if you guys are familiar with like the fight scene, right? Okay, that fight scene was so dumb. I couldn't even believe that we went for something like ridiculous and ambitious like that. The fight scene took about 12 hours in the parking lot. The fight scene took a ridiculous amount of time to shoot, and props to these guys because they were in front of hot lights and a camera from about 1 o'clock in the afternoon until about 1 o'clock in the morning that day. But we got the fight scene done, and we shot all the rest of the episode the next day. And
yeah, that's the crazy thing, because we had that whole Wesker episode, and just the fight scene was the Saturday, and he had to get home by a certain time in San Diego the following Sunday, so we had even less time on Sunday to shoot all of Wesker sans the fight, and we just came in and we just like did it like that.
It was pretty challenging.
But
too,
the fight was like 10 hours of filming. And it was like a few minutes long.
They have dudes in like, you know, costumes that weigh 15 to 30 pounds and stuff like that. The other crazy thing is that the first time we shot a fight scene, I had no experience shooting a fight scene, so it was just like, I want Doom to show you good muster. I wanted there to be like a Back to the Future-esque scene, and there's very lot of that stuff that we throw back to movies of the past in Assist Me. But then let's get on to where we try to take the series after that. I wanted to start including like female characters. I just didn't want to be just like a giant bro sausage fest on internet videos. And I wanted to be like, have a variety, to be like more interesting and have a wider broad of the character selection in Marvel. So we got X-23. X-23 was played by the part of my sister, Tess Christensen, and she didn't have much like. We gave her like a little bit of motivation for the character, but she's been like an actress her whole life, so it was kind of like natural for her. The X-23 episode was pretty challenging. You weren't there for that one. Wesker wasn't like technically a part of the show yet, but Doom was. What was the X-23 shoot like, Simmons?
Incredibly awkward. Because I've known Max for a long time, and when I first met Max, his sister was 12. And if you've watched the X-23 episode, there's supposed to be this thing where Doom all of a sudden gets the hots for X-23. And I had to do this whole scene where, like, I'm whisking Tess around by the hands, and like we get all close, and she almost kisses me. Yeah, and she almost kissed me, and I'm like this. I was like, this is the hardest thing I've ever done. Like, there was another episode where I got like kneed in the face, like for real, and it didn't even really phase me. Whatever, I'm fighting, cool, whatever. But like, I have to like almost quasi get romantic with Max's sister, and that was probably the hardest thing I would just be looking to do, because I was just like, I feel so uncomfortable right now.
She was all used to it because she's like an actress. She's been on like stage and stuff like that for a long time. She was one of the easier ones to work with just because it was my sister and we were able to laugh about a lot of stuff. The next one that came up was pretty challenging, and it was Jill. We had our friend, or more specifically Simmons and Mike's friend Anno, who did pretty much the best battlesuit Jill cosplay I think there is. And the thing
Spiff is her online.
Yeah, Spiff's Dive. And it's just dead on accurate. I'm like, oh, we have to bring her in, and we had to essentially train her a little bit on the acting side of things.
She had no acting.
She has very little, and we kind of wrote the character as a zombie in herself. She's like a puppet and a tool of Wesker, so it worked pretty well. A lot of the things we wanted just the suit to be on camera a lot of the time. And that pretty much came to the conclusion of season 1. Oh yeah, there was a rap battle. So how many of you guys saw the rap battle? I think a lot more people have seen the rap battle than just the Assist Me series. It's kind of taken on its own life in itself as being like the parody of epic rap battles of history, which is exactly what we wanted to do. We wanted to make something as close to epic rap battles of history and like how brilliantly badass that show is, and convey it with Marvel characters.
I think the origins of the rap battle are actually really funny. I don't even know if you remember it.
Go over that.
We were in Las Vegas for my birthday, and we were at like this really nice resort, chilling in this pool, and everyone like it was in the morning, but we were all just kind of like just chilling in the pool on like on stolen fun noodles, just like hanging around, like, you know, it'd be hilarious. And like someone just, I don't know, who might have even been me, I don't know.
I think it was not even one, it was like one of our other friends.
Like, you guys should do a rap battle. Yeah.
And then it was like, it's so dumb.
It was like, yeah, that'd be hilarious. Do a rap battle. No idea, not thinking how much work that went into making that rap battle. She's like, that'd be funny, yeah, let's do that.
It was quite literally like the epitome of when you hear like the Inception thing, like when you have an idea and you can't get rid of it. It was exactly like that. Like I couldn't get it out of my head. I was writing lyrics every single night. I went to a friend of mine, Zed Tabani, who was also known as the Red Rapper. He actually done a lot of stuff for the fighting game community in regards to like the Evo main song, a bunch of other things for Street Fighter 3DS. I think he did the main song for as well. And he's an Eminem style rapper, so it was kind of weird to like transition to the style of like epic rap battle because it was very fast paced. And if you guys have seen the epic rap battle, there's like a lot of crazy lyrics, like dutifully looping beautifully, and there's some pretty like masterful stuff going on in it, and I was pretty proud of it. And then the tough part was bringing in dudes with no musical or singing experience.
We're both very, very white.
And yeah, every time like we would go to Zed's place and do like delivery and try to practice like the beats and the motions of the song, which is the most challenging part in a rap, Instead, it's just like, oh god. He's just like holding his face, like, okay, let's do it this way.
Yeah, Red pretty much had this like, I'm being as nice as I can look on his face the whole time. It's like, I could just tell looking at him that like, boy, he really isn't impressed with us.
We were there till like 6 a.m. in the morning.
But he stuck it out. He never got like mean or critical about it. Like, he just stuck it out with us like the whole night. And I'm just like, man, I feel so bad.
He also got us the rap lyrics the day of.
Yeah, we got the rap lyrics on the day, and then we shot it that day. It's actually pretty crazy how the rap battle even took place in such a short
The
period.
filming was done differently from the recording of the actual singing part. They were actually done like weeks apart.
Yeah.
We had to like act out and sing the rap on camera, and then weeks later we had to go and like sing
Perform
ourselves.
ourselves. We didn't even know the song really yet until we had. We didn't know the song when we were shooting. It was challenging. So at the conclusion of season 1, I'm going to go over each one of you guys here, and we might get some feedback from the crowd in regards to season 1. So season 1 included Dr. Doom, X-23, Wester, and Jill, and that was the end of it. So starting from the panel right here, if you want to pass the mic to Andrew. Andrew, what were your thoughts on season 1? What were the toughest parts and the best parts?
Toughest parts. So Max came to me and was like, hey, we're going to do just like a 1-minute fight scene. It's a 1-minute fight scene. It's gonna be fun. You know, nothing too big. And I was like, who's gonna? Oh, Wester and Doom are gonna fight it out. Oh, okay. He's like, so what should we do with the camera? I mean, if you've watched that, a lot of lights sometimes just pop up randomly. So that was all choreographed by these two guys, Simmons and Mike.
Simmons and Mike.
Payoff.
Yeah, we literally like ran outside of Max's house, and I said, okay, we need some space. We ran down to the front of his house, right in front of his door. I'm like, all right, so what are you gonna do? So me and Mike were just having, you know, this and that, that's what we're gonna do. Cool.
Yeah, it was all choreographed the day of.
So that was probably one of the worst things. One of the best things though is during, I guess we're not talking about that. So, I just want to say, like, there's a couple of times where, like, we don't catch these certain outtakes. That's my favorite part. So it's not the stuff recorded, so you guys all suck because you don't see that. Not my fault.
What an asshole.
But that's probably my favorite part. We're all friends, so we all get along doing that stuff. We hate each other day up. Next day, we're cool.
Oh man, it's ridiculous how much we can hate each other and be like, at the end of the day, I love you, man, we got this done. Yeah, it gets pretty rough.
But yeah, that's my thing. So he's been one of so you guys.
It's been a delight.
Yeah, I guess DJ's only been in season 2 so far. So Simmons, what were your favorite moments of season 1, and what was the toughest thing?
You know what? I think you and I have a very common favorite moment, and that's when I drew a picture of him. Oh, would you like to see? Because on our lunch break, while everyone was eating sandwiches made by our fantastic, wonderful cook, wherever she went. I don't know.
She's right here.
Right there. Our pet coordinator
We have this amazing woman who makes wonderful food for us, and probably shouldn't have to, but we were eating on lunch break, and I just grabbed like one of Max's sketchbooks, because Max is an artiste when he's not busy editing, and I just ripped out a page, and I found a bunch of crayons.
No, there's a precursor to this. There was like, okay, so we need this gag where Doom and Strider have this odd love relationship of being like BFFs from Marvel vs. Capcom 2, if you guys remember like that game. They worked really well together in that game. Yeah, exactly.
Rocks to the end, baby.
What happened is we needed like a drawing. What if Doom pulls out like a sweet picture he drew of Strider, and then I compared it to mine. So I'm like, okay, well I'll try to draw like a crappy drawing, and it was the toughest thing for me.
And I sat there thinking to myself, Max is a good artist. So he needs someone who sucks at drawing to make a crappy drawing.
It's like, give me that sketchbook.
Give me the sketchbook. So I ripped out a page, and then I found some crayons. I think there was like 4 or 6 crayons. And I was like, so I just got some like basic like Crayola like wax crayons. I'm just like, and I drew a picture of like Strider and Doom standing in a sunny field, holding hands together with it's hard to see on camera, but all 4 members of the Fantastic Four laying dead around their feet.
We're actually, I've been holding on to this drawing, and it's still pinned up on my wall to this day ever since we started doing this with me like a year ago. And I think I'm going to reserve it and like frame it and then do like a raffle giveaway or something on the channel.
So basically basically my favorite gag is when Doom pulls out a picture, saying, I drew a picture of him, and we're talking about Strider, would you like to see? And then Max has a drawing of Strider which he drew probably like almost a decade ago or something.
It was like 5 years ago.
5 years ago. He has this old picture of Strider that he just whipped up and drew probably at work. And he shows that on camera, and it's like, you know, that looks legit. And then, you know, you got Doom's like, you know, kindergarten crayon drawing of Strider and Doom together.
Right.
And I just like look at it and go, and chuck his sketchbook out the window. That was probably my favorite skit to throw.
It's honestly still one of my favorite gags in the entire show because it's so simple.
And I believe almost that your reaction face was almost legit. I think it was legit at one point because you're like, oh shit, like, I hope you don't like,
Because he's hit anything. Knocked over a lamp.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how much of my living room has been sacrificed to this show and like actually being Doom.
That's so I think my other one's in the Wesker episode where I introduce myself because I just come walking down the stairs and I'm brushing my teeth.
Yeah.
And a couple of fun little trivia facts about that. That robe I'm wearing, it's not a bathrobe, it's actually a robe for my Firelord Ozai cosplay. And it's actually, it was a beautifully made robe. You can't really see too much of the details because it's only like a piece of it. But yeah, I'm wearing a giant Firelord Ozai robe, brushing my teeth, which is Max's toothbrush. And I did actually take his toothbrush. Because a week later, Max asked me, where's my toothbrush? And I'm like, oh, shit. I actually took his toothbrush for real.
There's been so many random things like that. I don't know, even for myself, like I see the beginning of everything and then the end of everything in editing, so it's kind of hard for me to say which one I like the most and I dislike the most, but I go back and watch season 1 now and I'm just like, oh, it's so bad. So, we'll go on to Mike. What do you think about season 1? What was your most favorite thing and your most disliked thing?
Season 1 for me, I'm trying to remember that year. It's all a big, foggy, hazy, too much out there. No, probably my favorite moments in season 1, like my favorite gag would actually be the one that wasn't scripted. We just came up with on the fly, and that was the Wesker eating Max's sandwich in the Jill episode. It was scripted for us to all say something about Resident Evil, you know, like the crappy acting and all that, and then all look at the camera, but the entire concept of the sandwich was just come up with on the fly, and it made that gag so much harder to shoot. I mean, you guys have seen the outtakes of that episode where we're crying, and we're like in the middle of a line, we're crying, laughing, and with every mistake. And we almost nailed it on the first one, and Max lost it. He looked at me and I started talking, he just fell.
And that was Max's sandwich that his wife had made for him.
That's why when I say the more you fuck up, you know, the less of the sandwich you get. That's the truth. But it was one of my favorite gags. Totally unscripted, that whole bit, like the sandwich, right? Pretty sure it was, hey, sandwich? I'm just like, nobody cares, Max, and start eating the sandwich. Yeah, that's true. A lot of them are not in the script. They're just, hey, this would be funny. Yeah, I think that'd be funny too. Let's do it. Another great moment would probably be like the entire fight with Doom and Wesker. I think it was like just the whole one, every punch was a joke of some kind. Like everything was either like a nod to a movie or a nod to a video game, and it was exhausting to shoot. I still don't know what was more tiring, the rap battle or the...
It's probably your most disliked and liked one at the same time.
Yeah, I mean everything, I have a love-hate relationship with everything we do. It's exhausting, but it's worth it.
So before we go any further, I see if you guys had your hands up. We'll take a couple of questions right now before we get into like ultimate assisting and stuff like that. Who had any questions?
Question about Street Fighter Cross now.
Say that again?
Well, a question about Street Fighter Cross what's your thoughts on Rolento in terms of balance?
He's really good. I don't know. I think there's certain things about Hugo that are ridiculously good too. But if we're talking about Street Fighter Cross Second and we want to talk top tiers, yeah, Rolento is one of the better.
Do you think that is tier list?
No. I think the tier list is kind of a troll. I think it's kind of a troll. I think someone just made it, but at the same time, there are really good characters in that game. Anybody else have any questions right now? What's up? Honestly, no. The only SNK related fighter I played, but I loved it to death, Capcom vs. SNK 1 and 2. Yeah, I really hope that they continue that franchise. Simmons here was with me when I was playing CVS 2 like hardcore back in the mid-2000s.
CVS 2 is one of my favorite fighting games.
Yeah, it's
it's not balanced, but it's so much fun.
I was one of those kids, like, you know, who was young, and I played Killer Instinct because it was awesome, and RPGs were for nerds, and I played Street Fighter because it was awesome, but SNKs for nerds. It was one of those like weird things. So I never really grew up with SNK games. So once I got introduced to CVS 2, I'm like, whoa, Rock Howard is badass. Whoa, Kyo is really cool, and then you get introduced to like a Capcom game. So I've kind of like my entire life, I've kind of like really only followed. Not only, but followed Capcom games like heavily, like Third Strike, CVS 2, Marvel 2. But I played Soul Calibur religiously. I played Tekken 3 through Tag to 4 and 5 religiously. And not many other fighters. Guilty Gear was great, but never really got into BlazBlade. I got like out of the anime fighter-ish mode when I was in college. And I like more of like just the basic like throwdown like man fighters like Tekken and stuff like that. Any other questions before we go any further?
I will say, I like King of Fighters 02 and 03.
Thank you, sir.
I'll respect the hell out of those games. I know they were really good too. I just never invested the time. It was like an option between playing Marvel 2 or that in my arcade, and I just played Marvel 2 like crazy. Yeah.
10 years.
It's hard to deny when there's like 30 people sitting around and like screaming their heads off. Yeah, there's a lot of hype behind that game. So after that, yeah, speaking of Capcom, we went to EVO, dressed up as our characters, and
hard for you.
Yeah, especially for me. I grew my hair out even longer. Simmons came out as Doom. He didn't have Wesker, even though we're going to try to get you guys this year for EVO to go. But EVO is the world, like kind of the hugest world championship of fighting games out there, and it's celebrated in Vegas, and it's like a compilation of all the biggest fighters and the best players. And it's literally turned into like a convention now, so we took the chance to bring the assistant crew down there, and it was just absolutely crazy. We got the chance to play a lot of Ultimate Marvel 3 before it was out, and Capcom came up to us and just telling us how much they loved the show and really liked it. And they essentially like swapped the business card with me, and then a couple of weeks after they said, hey, Ultimate's coming out in November. This was like right after it was announced at EVO, and they're like, can we hire you to do exactly what you're doing? And I'm like, no, yes, this is cool. So we essentially worked with them for about, wow, 2 months, and only on Ultimate Assist Me, which is why when we talk about Season 1 and 2 of Assist Me, for you guys that are familiar, Ultimate Assist Me kind of stands separate, but it still stands in like the lore of, somewhat lore of the show that we created. So Ultimate Assist Me was brought on by Capcom. It was going to cover characters just from Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And it was going to have to be 6 episodes that would go up until the release of the game. That was back in November. And that was the toughest thing I think we'd ever did.
Well, yeah, because they came in and said originally wanted like 12 episodes, but we dropped it down to 6 or something like that. But he's like, yeah, we needed it. It's like August.
I'm like, how are we going to make a
we have from August to November to shoot 6 episodes, and I'm like, fuck!
Actually, we had from August till like mid-September.
Yeah, mid-September. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, it was like every weekend straight for like 4 straight weekends, and I essentially was in post-production just by myself from all of October and practically all of November. It was insane, but it was worth it. It was really well received, and the costumes we made as a result were great. It was awesome working with Capcom because they were really supportive. It was a little insane working with Marvel. Marvel has a lot of really strict guidelines when it comes to their characters, and we wanted to do stuff in the show, and we literally couldn't.
Yeah, there was a point where we got word that Marvel had said, we need to approve all the costumes before you can make it, and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, we were running into there was months of deliberation. I was on the phone with Capcom and Marvel for a long time, just trying to make the show even possible. And I just would love to give a shout out to the guy I can't say his name, but the guy at Capcom that brought us on to do this, because it was like his personal project, just to make this happen, because he wanted to get the community more involved with these games. And you see that a lot more now, which is really cool with fighting games. And it actually happened, so it's kind of a blessing, and it was a curse because we had to do it so fast, but it was definitely worth it. So Ultimate Assist Me featured in the first episode Strider, who actually might be in this room. Right here. No, he's right there. I'm just terrible. This is Strider, Sean. Oh, Ben. This is Ben, Strider. We also featured 5 other total characters. In the second episode, we had... Who was in the second episode?
You!
It was, oh god, that's why I can't think of it. I played the role of Ghost Rider, and I like freaking... yeah, don't know. Yeah. Maybe. He wanted to do it, and I'm like, but people...
No, Simmons said, I was talking to Simmons, I was like, oh, dude, I want to play Ghost Rider, and Simmons was like, no, we have to have Max play Ghost Rider, and I was like, oh, God.
And I'm like, what? Oh.
And I was like, oh, all right, cool.
And then we brought Wesker back because we literally couldn't get any more Marvel characters, and I had a great idea for Wesker as an episode to return. And Wesker did the Nemesis episode, and then we had Virgil, and then we had Rocket Raccoon, and I'm missing one?
Oh, Phoenix Wright.
Phoenix Wright, yeah. Phoenix, what's that? Ultra David, well, he needed some coaching. He's a lawyer, so he has very good vocal skills, but he isn't like one to go into like a moment in a situation. So it took some coaching. I think he did a great job for the time we had. We literally shot all of Ultra David's portion in less than 2 hours.
Yeah, to be honest, if we had him come over to my apartment one night and like set up a corner into a green screen room, and you know, it was kind of like, it was like late at night, and he was, you know, I didn't, you know, did well for what he did, but we kind of were basically asking a guy to like go to some guy's house he's never met, and go sit in front of a green screen and pretend, you know, he's, you know, yelling at a judge for like a couple hours. So it was, it's a little surreal what we were like, you know, what we were doing to this poor man. So
I think one of the things I was most happy with the Ultimate Assist Me series was what you guys were able to do with Rocket Raccoon. We saw the Rocket Raccoon episode. Okay, so you see the stuff we did, like the puppet and things like that, right? All the puppet work, and there was actually a puppet engineer, and there was, my crew played the main automation of the puppet, and he actually did the voice as well. So we've had Wesker now play Wesker, he's played Rocket Raccoon, he's played Deadpool. We have like kind of the, like similar to Epic Rap Battles of History where 2 guys play like all the characters. But it was, I think that was my favorite episode. What was your favorite episode of Ultimate Assist Me, Mike?
Ultimate?
My favorite one to make was definitely Rocket Raccoon because it was just so different than anything we had done. I personally feel like it could have been funnier. Like, but I don't know, maybe that's because I was involved with it. Like, I look at it and I already know all the gags, so I'm like...
Yeah, it's weird watching the show from the perspective of people who make it, because you don't know what it is.
Yeah, because when you write it, like, oh, this is going to be hilarious. You watch it, you go, I thought that'd be funnier. Or maybe you guys still think it's really funny. My favorite one to watch is from Ultimate... I don't know, I'd probably say the Ghost Rider one. I think that's a cool episode. I like, you know, just the whole Max going nuts and turning into Ghost Rider and doing screaming like a girl, like jumping over the couch. That was probably my favorite episode of Ultimate to watch.
yeah, it hurt my throat doing that take because like, we did it a couple times and we had it. It was good, and then Max decided he wanted it from a different angle or something, so I had to do it again the next day. And I was like, crap. And then we switched because originally I peered up over the couch and like I fainted and did this and like fell over. And then Max was like, oh, we gotta do something else. So I'm like, so now he wants me to walk backwards and tumble over the whole couch. And I was like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, I'll have to agree. The Ghost Rider episode was challenging just because it involved like me being in costume and like this ridiculously stupid tight skull mask that I couldn't see anything.
Wearing a costume.
Yo, shut up. That I couldn't see anything through, and I had to like work with Andrew on all the camera work and the cinematography and the lighting at the same time. But we actually had a post-production staff through the help of Capcom that owed him a favor. Did all the post-production work of the fire and stuff like that because I just didn't have the time to do the flaming effect on Ghost Rider's head. So it came out pretty good. But I think Ghost Rider was definitely the most fun to watch visually. Andrew, which was your favorite from Ultimate Assist Me of the 6?
I was working on something, so now I'm not thinking about it.
None of them.
Yeah, I liked Rocket Raccoon a lot because puppeteering is an extreme pain in the ass, but Mike did a great job on voicing that. I'm trying to think. Ghost Rider was a lot of fun because Max was in leather.
Or not.
I kind of liked all 6 of those episodes. The one we clashed on was Nemesis and Wesker.
Yeah, there was a lot of conflicting about the script on that one.
But I think pretty much all 6 of those episodes are the ones that I had the most fun shooting. Yeah, they're the shortest. Yeah, I really, I pretty much like all those. I think, let's see, what was the one? Which one did we do? Strider was the first one.
Strider was the very first one.
Yeah,
that was the longest, I think.
Yeah, that one went to hell. That was my least favorite.
Yeah, I wanted to like Strider, but the way we wrote Strider that his memory was lost, and we had to like bring him back. So I wanted to have like total Brokeback Mountain, like, you know, bromance scenes with our Strider, and I couldn't do it because it's just not how the script was written. So it was kind of like, I almost felt a little disappointed that we had this whole build-up that Doom's looking for Strider. We had a PSA, I don't know if you ever saw it, where Doom is funding a Doom Wants Strider Back Foundation. I don't know if you saw it, like I'm in the park, I'm alone on a swing, and the costume is Doom, and we freaked the hell out of the poor mother and her baby, like her 3-year-old daughter. And like it was, I almost felt like, man, we build it up and then we just have him that, oh, he loses memory and it can only be like 10 minutes long and he has to go, and I'm like, damn, man, we kind of like...
Doom is the tortured soul.
Yeah, it almost tortured me because it's just like, oh man, I wanted to have more of it, but you know, we didn't have the time or anything, but for Ultimates, I had the most fun writing Phoenix, because I had to write, there was so much rewriting on Rocket Raccoon, we actually ended up writing Rocket Raccoon like the day before and day of shooting that I ended up doing. So, but it was fun. I think it turned out pretty well. Like, it was a little hard. There was one point in Rocket Raccoon where I'm like, okay, I make a Star Fox joke, and then Rocket Raccoon is retort. I'm like, who's another popular like raccoon character? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. But yeah, that was kind of fun. I think Phoenix Wright was fun to write. The interesting thing about the Virgil episode was that it was really weird, because I wrote this episode, I'm like, how do I make Virgil funny? I don't know if you guys have played Devil May Cry 3, Virgil's not a very fun character. He's a wet blanket. So I'm like, okay, I gotta make Virgil funny. Oh, he has mommy issues. So I'm like, I'm sitting there writing the Virgil episode, like literally like 20 minutes after I found out my mom may have terminal cancer. And then I just ended up, fuck it, and I just started writing about how he's so sad about his mom being dead. It was the most like weird, morbid experience I ever had writing a show, where I'm like, I'm writing a comedy about a guy who can't get over his dead mother. My mom might be dying. Huh. This is awesome.
Poor tormented Doom.
I didn't tell them either. They had no idea what was going on.
Simmons battling it out through the show. That's what a lot of this stuff is. It ends up just being like a personal obligation through like money and time, and that's just wanting to get the project done and meet egging people on to help out. So that leads us to season 2. And you guys have already seen Deadpool in season 2, or how many people have seen Deadpool so far? So a few of you guys, okay, cool. Deadpool was a pretty fun episode, especially because Mike took on the character really well. And I think if it was the fact that Mike's interpretation of the Deadpool character was so similar to what Nolan North did with Deadpool, and Marvel 3 he does the voice and like many other iterations of Deadpool, it came out on the screen so damn well. And then we had this interesting thing where I died. So I kind of wanted to give a reason behind this for anyone that was really curious. Deadpool episode 1 happens and he asks the audience at the end, let me know if you want me to kill Max or let him live, as the result of like a bounty on my head from MODOK. And then we had this interesting thing happen, and I'm like, well, people will want to keep me alive, I hope. And then at the end of the first episode, yo Max, everyone wants you dead. Oh shit. What do we do? And I'm like, wait a minute, I got an idea. So we eventually wrote two scenarios. And I wrote it in how we have one scenario where I die, but it ties into the overall arc. And for those that might have caught the Max is Dead episode, it kind of like takes that. The Max is Dead episode is literally because the fans were split between both ways. And we're like, okay, we can do both of these. So I died in an episode, and Doom goes through some crazy stuff and this thing talking to him that we still don't know about because it's in the arc of season 2. And then comes back, and then Deadpool comes back, and the real results are revealed, and I'm not dead. And then that's the conclusion of that. So
I think everyone wanted him dead because he stopped the epic rap battle.
Yeah. I said no to the epic rap battle. A lot of people were like, I just want to know what happens if he dies. I'm like, okay, I'll show you what happens if I die. Doom goes and dies alone in the street. It was such a sad episode, and I kind of like had fun making it because of that. But then season 2 started with Deadpool, and now we're moving into Chris.
Hold on a second! We're not done with you yet! Occupy Capcom is still here!
Oh, God, really?
Yes.
I don't want you here.
Occupy Capcom's mad to knock the neck! Yeah, it's been, what, a couple months?
Umbrella, handle him.
What do you mean, umbrella? Like, what's going on?
Okay, Legends 3 is not coming back. I'm so sorry, guys. They really want Legends 3 back. Mega Man, Mega Man fan. Hey man, I know a lot of you guys want Mega Man. I wish I could put him in there. Let's with that, let's go into the a little bit of a sneak peek I want to give you guys. Kind of an exclusive. So this, no one has seen this before. Not even the people who are at this table besides myself. So this is Chris, Season 2, Episode 1. This is the introduction that's going to show you who Chris is as a character. You're going to get an understanding of where we're taking the Chris character and what's going on with the zombie outbreak. So give me a second for that stuff. They're not here to arrest you.
Really?
No, and they're not here about the zombies either.
What zombies?
Right now, the LAPD has pulled out of South Central Los Angeles entirely and is trying to form a defensive perimeter around Beverly Hills.
Big deal. Just follow me.
Dude, it's March.
Away from Los Angeles, the city is under dark.
Oh shit, it's not Halloween.
I know.
Well, they're not here for that. They're not here for the zombies. What are they here for?
Looking for Jill Guns and and possibly some leads on Albert Wesker.
What about me?
Wesker?
What the hell are you doing here?
Whoa, just hang on for a second, guys. I can explain. And then we want him out of the TV, and he's been here for the past couple of months, actually. I mean, he's even helping out around the house, doing chores, looking for a job.
Yeah, and trying to make cool look back.
I don't trust him.
Okay, maybe you should get scarce for a bit when Chris is around.
Why? I could body him and those scrubs if they cause any problems.
No more fighting. I don't want to have to replace any furniture.
Fine. I've got a job to do anyways.
Oh, where at?
That's no concern of yours.
I hear you train people in Ultimate Marvel 3. Yeah, I help folks out with this game and some others. I mean, I can even help train you guys if you want.
You can't teach me anything. I kick your ass.
No, I don't know. I kind of know a lot about this game.
I'm a professional, dude. I've won like 6 national cups.
Yeah, well, nobody likes you.
And besides, isn't there a zombie outbreak happening outside? Don't you guys have any work to do?
Nah, dude. We got some time to kill. Let's play some video games! Yeah, yeah!
I forgot to warn you, it's not completely done as of yet. A lot of the effects and everything are in it, but Doom's voice was still incomplete as of the time of making the video. But thank you very much. The season, well, not the season, the episode premiere of Chris will actually show up next week. Sometime around mid next week is when I'm hoping it'll be done. And then the follow-up should be just about a week after, so you can check that out on youtube.com/miles923. But until we wrap up this panel, we're going to take some more questions from you guys. Oh, really? Okay, well, let's take some questions for you guys. What's up, dude? It's mostly via the convenience of the show. For example, when it came down to certain aspects of getting like X-23 and Jill, it was because we knew we can get a person to perform and play as Jill for the scope of a weekend, so I had to do Jill. And in that time frame, there comes some issues of like, I don't know the character as well, and I want to get actual like good information, so I go to people that know about the character, and I put their names in the credits consistently. Guys over at ShoreYukin.com and several other folks actually help out with those characters. So when it comes to Season 2, however, the choice of the characters is strictly plot relevant. So a lot of the characters that you'll be seeing in Season 2 are unique to Season 2, but they're really there for the story. So, but there's a lot of fan requested stuff you guys are probably seeing. Chris is one of the more requested characters of the entire show. Any more questions? What's up, dude? We're trying to, we've thrown around the idea of like Mega Man.
Okay, we had an idea for Mega Man. And we asked the fans and they got involved and they said, which version of Mega Man do you want? They all voted on it and then we had to cancel it.
Yeah.
So Mega Man got canceled.
Yeah, I don't know. We've talked about doing a Mega Man episode or like a Tron episode even, and even a Zero episode, but no concrete plans as of right now. But I think that's still totally not out of the realm of possibility. Who's next? What's up?
Season 2, who else from the well-known locality?
I'm trying to get as many people as possible. A lot of those guys come up to me and they say, "You're going to be in the show," like constantly, and I really want to try to get them in these like cameo parts. We didn't really get the opportunity in the first one. We had the Mega Man fans there. But and I don't know if you caught it earlier before or around Season 1 of this, we had Clockwork and James Chen co-star in a Strider PSA episode before Strider was actually confirmed in Ultimate. And we want to get those guys back because they were so easy to work with, and a lot of these guys are like really glad to help out. So definitely want to get more of like the core FGC superstars in to assist me.
Will we ever see another
I hope so. The only issue of the rap battle is that there's a lot of concepts we have to throw around, and it's the plausibility of like which characters we put up against what characters. Like I wanted one to be Team Bros from Vanilla Marvel 3 versus Team Bros from Marvel 2. So that would have been like Strider and Doom versus, I think it was Wolverine and Akuma. They were the Ultimate Bro team. So it would have been BFF versus BFF. But then the issue is we have to find people that can Strider rap. I'm like, oh man, or can we get a Wolverine that can rap and like perform? Can we get an Akuma that can do the same thing? It becomes these little logistical problems that we have to try to figure out and to get people that can perform all the areas we need them to, and then we have to shoot it as well. So there's so much stuff that goes into the thing, something like a rap battle that I definitely want to do it again because, like, oh my gosh, I don't even know how many views the first rap battle has. It's like 700,000 or something ridiculous.
Yeah,
oh yeah, you can talk about that.
There was, as some of you guys might have seen YouTube comments, Max answers some of the comments, I'll answer a lot, because why not? You know, it's good PR. There was a random YouTuber who said, I want to take on Wesker, and I said, bring it. And he came to me, he's like, hey, can we really do a rap battle? I was like, I don't know, let me ask Max. And so, I don't remember this guy's name, but I talked to Max, and he's like, well, why don't you guys write something and we'll see. You know, if you can come up with something good, go ahead. And so he started writing his lyrics, I started writing mine. I wrote all these lyrics that ripped into him about being a YouTuber. Like there was, I'm trying to remember one of them.
YouTuber means like nothing.
Exactly. You're just a YouTuber. I had one that was like, I'm a god amongst mortals, I'm perfect in every way. You're just a punk on YouTube and your uploads are gay. And stuff like that. Like I had all these lyrics, and he wrote way more lyrics than I did. He had like a 5-minute rap for himself, and I asked him to cut it down, and he wasn't able to cut it down to a length where he was still getting out like the burns he wanted to. And so we wound up going like, oh, maybe we can revisit it another time. But like I was bummed because I was done. I wrote out all my stuff, and now we can't do it. But
yeah, I think we'd love to do another rap battle at some point. It's just finding like the perfect characters to do it. And Doom and Wesker worked so well because they already like hated each other throughout the show. And Wesker, yeah, Wesker was godlike in the first game and is godlike in the new game. And then Doom thinks he's godlike, so.
Whoa. Think?
Might be.
Can you make a delicious mojito by doing this?
Okay.
No.
The mojito is terrible. We got any other questions? Yo.
All right. First of all, how do you know when you find out everyone you're dead?
I was like, son of a bitch. YouTube sucks. No, it was to the point where like a lot of people, I was reading like why do they want Max dead? And a lot of them were saying, because I want to see what happens. And I'm like, okay, that's legitimate enough, but we really figured that, oh, no one's gonna want me dead, and all of a sudden, I'm just a guy who makes tutorials for people on the internet and tries to help level dudes up. No, kill him. Destroy him. I was actually really excited because it gave us the idea to do the bonus episode of Assist Me It's Over. And if it didn't come as a result of that, like I was kind of like burned at the moment, and then I totally got over it because I'm like, oh, it's LOL internet. And I was able to make something out of it. We had a really fun episode where we were able to do something like a short film. And we've been wanting to do like short film type of stuff for the longest time without like the video game elements. It turned into more of like a web show. And we had the opportunity, and we kept it overall with the story arc that's going to be happening with season 2. So I'm really glad it did happen in the end.
And yeah, we worked really hard on that. It was a lot of fun, but it was also really dark. Yeah, I actually enjoyed doing that, and we filmed that entire thing on this Sunday of ALA. Because we were all at ALA, and then I left like in the afternoon to go over to Max's house. We filmed that whole thing in like the afternoon. Yeah, on the last day of ALA. It was awesome.
I've been in this situation from the Christmas session, guys.
Oh, those missing footage segments. If you guys watch the Assisting Christmas special, there's moments where, like, in between them talking, so it says missing footage. The reason it says that is to transition to the next scene. Because it was shot so like handycam LOL Christmas style, we didn't want it to take like days. We wanted it to take like 2 hours, and that was it. If it was used as transitional elements to get from like one cut to the next, because if you guys have like watched movies that have like jump cuts where it goes all over the place, it's really jarring. And throwing a missing footage was just to cover that up, because we didn't really professionally shoot that one. It was just for fun.
Who wants to hear a funny story about that episode? Okay, I don't remember what episode we were shooting, but we were going to film that after we wrapped. What episode was it?
That was Deadpool Part 1.
Deadpool, was it one? Okay,
yeah.
We wrapped Deadpool Part 1, and I had, Max said, hey, we think you could come up with a Christmas episode. I was like, yeah, sure. So I wrote up this whole Christmas episode, and like they kind of looked it over and were like, okay, let's do it, right? We wrapped Deadpool, we went to Islands, and these two assholes got blitzed. And were totally whatever. They were really drunk and came back and were like, do we want to shoot this? And I'm like, yes, we are shooting the Christmas episode. I wrote it so it was handycam style, and it was hard but hilarious because we were really tired. We had just wrapped Deadpool, and then they were really tipsy. And they're just kind of like, oh, whatever. And that whole thing was done like we had all drunk too much eggnog. So that wasn't even acting on most of their parts. They were just like tired and delirious, but a little bit happy from too much margaritas.
Going to Islands and drinking way too many Mai Tais.
But it all worked out in the end. I got to scream my Santa Doom line, and Max graciously refilled my pony collection.
Refilled, yeah, because you need more.
It's funny because I actually bought that day. I ran into Toys R Us. I'm like, shit, what was the name of the pony I'm gonna do? Oh, Rarity. I'm like, and there was like one left buried on the shelf. I was like, oh. But yeah, that was very interesting to shoot because it was done at like what, midnight?
Oh yeah, we were shot between like 11 a.m.
Yeah, we filmed it at midnight
to 1 a.m. Any other questions? I'll say you first.
When are we gonna get more Max and do like Modern Warfare?
Oh man. You guys actually like those videos?
Yeah!
Really? Okay.
You want to know what's great?
You already play Modern Warfare every day in real life.
What's great about Doom and Max play Modern Warfare? Me and Max comes up with an idea, a general idea, like okay, like what's a funny thing that's kind of like a big deal in Modern Warfare? Max will come up with it, like campers or whatever the first one was, Moabs, and he comes up with the idea, okay, well, let's do something funny with that. And we ad-lib those entire Doom and Max play Call of Duty. And I don't know if you guys want to know why I made Doom a Brony. It actually came from a scene where I was trying to fuck Max up, like for a take. Because we were originally gonna, like the whole scene where Doom comes down the stairs and yells at Max, was actually, we filmed it, and I don't even know what happened to the footage, but Max is sitting on the couch playing, and I go up and I'm like, Max, where's like the paper towels or something like that? And I go up to him and I pull the microphone out of his ear and go, Max! Oh, what? Like we were actually gonna have live action footage. And the last take we did of that, I came down the stairs, I like to fuck up scenes intentionally. If you've seen the outtakes, you'll know this. And I came down the scene and I was just gonna make Max laugh on camera again and ruin a take. So I came down and went, Max, what the hell happened to My Little Pony collection? Can't find my Rainbow Dash anywhere. We didn't even use the live action segment, so that was all that. And then I'm like, you know what? These things are pretty popular now. I could actually make him like legitimately into this thing. So so we went and I'm like, okay. So when we're ad-libbing the first Modern Warfare video, I just started making up shit and ad-lib that whole thing. And then I'm like, okay, well, one pony has to survive. I don't know, what are their names? And like I ran up to Wikipedia and I'm like, oh, this one survived. Nobody gives a shit about this one.
Simmons picked his favorite pony.
Well, I had to like figure out, I don't really know this much, so I pretty much had to like figure out what would be Doom's pony character. I'm like, I don't know, which one looks like a diva? That one.
That one. Yeah, the Modern Warfare videos are just kind of like really spur of the moment type stuff, but then I have to like travel to your place, which is like, an hour and a half away. Every time we want to like work together.
Only because of LA traffic.
Yeah, because of LA traffic. But no, if you guys actually really like those like Max and Doom play, who saw like Max and Doom play Soul Calibur 5? Like, you guys actually think that was good? Okay. Then
we were really worried about that not coming out well.
Yeah, it was a lot of these things we don't know if they're gonna hit or miss, but I think the ongoing series of like Max and Doom play probably should keep going outside of the Assist Me stuff, because I try to like keep Doom in as many things as possible when I work on my YouTube channel. What's up?
Do you guys play PS3?
Play what? I personally play a ton of Xbox. I have a PS3.
Max and Doom play cross-tag.
Yeah, like,
I can't do that on Xbox.
Given, like, right? We have to play it on PS3. I have it on PS3, so there's honestly a reason why we couldn't do it. But yeah, for my later cross-tech videos that'll be popping up on my channel, I'm definitely gonna try to get like the co-op stuff in, because that stuff is ridiculous.
I'll just tease, we have ideas for cross-tech and involving Doom.
Idea.
We have ideas. So we're not letting that one slip by, don't worry.
What's up?
The cross-counter roasted. What was going through yours and Reddit's mind when you got that content in you?
Or screwed.
What's your stance on this? Because a lot of the
I think they'll eventually be patched out. I don't know if you remember Street Fighter 4 when it first came out, or Marvel. Dude, there was like 3 infinites in Street Fighter 4, and there were like 4 to 5 in Marvel 3, and they got patched out within a month. I think that's what's going to happen. The Kazuya one bugs the shit out of me because it's possible on like a third of the cast from anywhere on the screen. And for you guys that aren't like fighting game related, no, like an infinite from anywhere on the screen is ridiculous. Most of them involve the corner, which takes some situational setup. This one you can do anywhere. I hope they remove them. None of them are very execution heavy, besides like some of them that just are really impractical, like Pac-Mans and Xiaoyus. Xiaoyus is it's not that, it's pretty hard to do, but at the same time, I don't know, I'm kind of down for evening out the playing field. And we live in an age where like a lot of you guys, like probably like myself, grew up with games in arcades, and they didn't have updates. They had new versions. They had, you know, Street Fighter 3, New Generation to Second Impact to Third Strike. When we had those games, the way they patched the problems in the game, like Ibuki was amazing in Second Impact because of several things, and then they made it pretty much garbage in Third Strike on new games. So they didn't patch them, they just made a whole new game. We live in an age now of like downloadable content, so stuff like that will just patch out. I'm pretty sure that stuff's going to be gone in a month. What's up?
Now, the rumor about Ultra Mario 3 Speed, now it was debunks. It was improvements. Now, you were talking about if it were true, though, you want to see, like, you might want to see some characters. Like, is there any character you kind of want to see?
I'd love to see some of the Marvel 2 characters return, like Captain Mingo. Surprisingly, Mingo was one of the characters I played briefly in Marvel 2 was first out.
It was fun to watch him play a Mingo.
Yeah, Mingo was my counter to Magneto in year 1 of Marvel 2 being out. But like Captain Commando, I'd love to see. I'd love to see Psylocke Mingo return. I'd love to see. I kind of like to see Iceman for some reason. He's just one of those weird characters. Yeah, you know, I'd have to like actually look at the roster and think about it. But there's a lot of characters from the Capcom lineup. Like, I knew he would never make it, but if Hayato made it into Marvel 3, yeah, these few characters that were really good in design. They were fun to use. They weren't. Some of them weren't the most effective in Marvel 2, but I think if they gave them a chance in Marvel 3, it could be cool. Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, I've been on the inside to understand from Capcom like where they're coming from, and the industry is so much different than when it was back when Marvel 2 was made. So the possibility of getting like X-Men characters once again that we remember from like old Marvel days is impossible. Like it's literally impossible. And from a fan perspective of hearing how it works. It's literally marketability, and the characters that appeared in Marvel 3 are characters that are in TV shows, in movies, and stuff like that. So there's a big reason why you see a lot of Marvel characters. So it's different.
I think this was said at Comic-Con last year, but Marvel decides what Marvel characters are in.
Yes.
The NBC 3.
There was only one character that the Capcom team was like really itchy about.
There was two.
Well, Shuma, yeah. Shuma Garat made it into the game because the Capcom Japan team pretty much wanted to animate the character all crazy, gooey looking.
Yeah, I heard that Storm and Sentinel were pushed heavily by Capcom.
Yeah, and Seth was pushing for Storm and Sentinel because they were such huge fan favorites in Marvel too. So there was a little bit of interpretation there because Storm would never have made it. Storm was I don't think very relevant.
Yeah, I think Storm and Sentinel, they were like, no, we don't want them because they're
and the Sentinel design was unique.
But yeah, that, and especially for Ultimate, it was literally like Marvel is like, these are the characters you're going to put in, and that's the end of negotiation.
I think that could happen, but it's a huge marketing risk. Yeah, it's like them wasting their rights, their usability rights on the character. Oh, that happened in Marvel too. I mean, that happened as a result of those old games.
Well, two had a lot of characters, huge spices, like just down. That was the extra 90s stuff still going on.
The big difference, yeah, with the older games and how we had this character roster and like they were popular from cartoons and became more popular as a result of the game. The biggest difference between then and now and Marvel now is about $500 million because they became a movie studio.
Yeah, if you remember when Marvel 1 and 2 came out, Marvel was about to file for bankruptcy.
Yeah, the best thing Marvel had was
very easy to convince them, hey, we want this character. Oh shit, okay.
Yeah, as much as I sympathize with you guys, and I'm like, I want to see more of the Marvel 2 cast back, and then I realized the reality of what's going on now with the industry. It's a very far-fetched, with what's up.
I wanted to also touch on the whole concept of Marvel, like when they were making Ultimate Marvel, when they had Doctor Strange, Capcom made a statement at panel this past year that it was the largest list of specifications for a Marvel character they'd seen since X-Men vs. Street Fighter. They were saying things like, he only use these spells, he only make these hand gestures, he has to fly, he has to say these quotes, so like...
The Doctor Strange was the most, specific. The everyone in Japan was kind of like, what? Why? Because like they actually were kind of like okay on letting Capcom animate and do whatever they wanted to do with the Marvel characters that they told them they were going to make. But every single move and piece of animation for Doctor Strange had to be approved by someone up in Marvel. Was like major, got a major boner for Doctor Strange, and would not tolerate anything not going through him.
So what are the series that you're trying to reboot him?
No, he's getting a movie. He has a movie in development, but so do a lot of characters.
The other thing I wanted to ask, on your opinion, is what do you think of glitches that are showing up in Street Fighter Cross Section, especially the new Mega Man?
Oh, I think that stuff sucks. I'm actually not making videos about it because the only way those glitches will get knocked out of the game, some of those are bad. Like some of those are like game breaking to the point at which you don't know if you guys remember the Strider Morgan glitch in Ultimate, where it would flip the screen and crash the system on some situations, and you can actually do that against people live. It's reminiscent of the Gambit glitch in Marvel 2, which would lock up arcade machines back in the day. So
that was hilarious to look at.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I think with the ability of them to update those things via downloadable content and patch updates, that's something that happens. The Mega Man glitch is awesome, but it's ridiculous. Like you can float to the sky and like I'm going back to my home planet. And I'm just like,
my planet needs me.
Yeah, it's just gone. Some other ones, I forget the bug ones, like Jin has a really bad one too, where someone gets stuck in a spin animation forever. That stuff needs to get patched. And they patched it in Marvel 3. Spencer was notorious for that stuff, where he would lock you up in super combos, and your character would just sit, and time would run out, and people would just abuse the crap out of that. Yeah, exactly. They did that in Marvel 3, and it actually happened in Ultimate as well, and they're like, what the hell, how did this happen again? And then they patch them out, so... Yeah, I'm totally down for them trying to support these games because, as you guys might have seen from my videos, I really like Street Fighter Cross Tekken, but man, is it going through a lot of shit right now.
How salty does playing all Street Fighter Cross Tekken online?
Not as salty as Marvel.
Really?
Dude, Marvel pisses me off online. I feel like I have more control of what's going on in Street Fighter Cross Tekken. In Marvel Online, it's hard. Like you learn a lot, but it's a very frustrating game.
Or people who use the system, they don't use it so they can get better.
Yeah. yeah, I see where you're coming from. Anybody else? You mean like the DLC games?
Yeah, like there's one where it's a free slot, so if you block 4 times for 20 seconds, you gain meter on your own, and it's pretty much giving you enough for 3 meters.
That sounds ridiculous. I don't even know about that.
It's 3 gem slots, but if you do 1 day for the bar and then block for you, like you wouldn't be if you block for you.
That'll probably mean the gems will get banned in tournaments if that stuff eventually comes out. Because right now they're trying to use them. I don't know if you guys have like been into the competitive scene or seen what's going on in Street Fighter Cross Tekken as of late. But a lot of tournaments are trying to ban gems, and there's a lot of people trying to support them at the same time. And Capcom or the quote-unquote Illuminati have a pretty big influence about what goes on in EVO because they run EVO, and those people work at Capcom. So I'd imagine gems will probably be at EVO. But we'll see. There's the game's new, man, and it's going through a lot of drama right now, and I want to see it resolved, but we also need to get like some tournament standards. And as much as I'm not really like a competitor, because I can't devote the time into being like an extreme top player like I used to want to, I follow this stuff religiously because I love the games to death, and I want to see the game work, but I really don't want to see Street Fighter Cross Tekken turn into Third Strike. Third Strike's my favorite fighting game of all time, but it's not the most popular Street Fighter by any means, and it was kind of the death of Street Fighter. So, the characters in Cross Tekken? Oh, the DLC? I'm one of those guys that look at fighting games and came from the perspective of a dude, like even Simmons here to an extent, didn't play these games competitively, but played them with me all of these years from like 2000s, from the 90s. And when you grow up with like these Capcom fighters, those are like the main games that people play, like the Third Strike, the CBS2, the Marvel 2, and we played those games for like 10 years because there was no other new Capcom. There was LOL Fighting Jam that came out, and no one took that game seriously. Yeah. It was very much, people just brushed it under, and then we were like, okay, well, Street Fighter's dead. We have these games, we're gonna play them for the rest of our lives. So whenever a new Street Fighter comes out, I'm just like, yes, I want more fighting games. And the fact that the DLC was on there, I was anticipating they were gonna do something with it. It kind of sucks the fact that it does suck the fact that they're on there. But I think the price is pretty good at the same time, but I wish they would have gone about it differently. I think it's kind of shitty that they're already on there, but at the same time, I want more fighting games. I want to play more fighting games, and I don't want it to die, and I really don't want Street Fighter Cross Tekken to be the Third Strike for this generation and kill off Street Fighter once again.
Yeah, to give it a little bit of that, I would want to jump in on this is the problem, and I'm not saying that Street Fighter Tekken is bad. I actually enjoyed it. When we were playing it before it came out at like the Capcom Fight Nights or whatever, I was enjoying it. I actually enjoyed the game, but I worry a lot about there's so many mechanics in Street Fighter Cross Tekken. There's the tag in and outs, there's the Pandora mode.
It's more complicated than
there's gems, and there's just Street Fighter 4, there's the focus system, and that's kind of the theme for Street Fighter 4, and the parries is the thing for Street Fighter 3, and Alpha counters for Alpha, but I worry that there's so much mechanical stuff in Street Fighter X Tekken that it's just going to kind of make a wall. It's kind of what happened to Virtua Fighter, which is a fantastic fighting game series, but you have to be so good at it that the barrier of entry is like rough, and I like the game, but I just worry that it's going to do what Third Strike did, which is like it's good, but you got to be really good at it to appreciate it. So when I don't know. To me, it's like this is a Japanese versus Western mentality. Because like you look at Mortal Kombat 9, and there's a lot of content in Mortal Kombat 9. And I'm not a fan of Mortal Kombat 9's fighting system in particular, but it has an amazing amount of content to do on the game, especially for players who are never going to be top tier. There's just stuff for them to do, and I really wish Capcom, they would, with their fighting games, would go into that, offer that amount of mode content, because I think in their mind is if we put more and more in the engine itself, then we've put the value in that aspect. So we don't need to worry about how many modes are in the game. And I just worry that might be a little bit of too much of an East versus West mentality that might hurt them.
You can tell that with especially Capcom games, they very much revolve when they're developed like in-house, they very much revolve around the old Japanese standard of designing video games, which was very much working in the late 90s, but it's changed ridiculously. Now Americans are taking the top position with these easy-to-access online games. Everything's easy to play. Billions of people are playing them, and then like these Japanese games that strive for 100,000 people. It's a lot different now. So when we have like a Capcom fighting game that comes out and it's like missing a lot of features, but then you have like an American fighting game like Mortal Kombat, which might not have like an equally as awesome like gameplay system compared to some games up to some opinions of others. It just puts it into perspective. Like, wow, why can't we have all these additional features in a Capcom game? So it's very much the old Japanese standard of designing a fighting game where the game speaks for itself. The fighting game system speaks for itself. That's why you play. You play to play against other people, but to be honest, 80% of the people that buy fighting games don't buy them really to play against other people. They buy them to enjoy a new video game. And a lot of guys don't understand that. Well, thank you very much. I try to keep up with these games, absolutely. I'm not as much as the most amazing competitor, because I choke. I'm not good under pressure at all. But when it comes to just playing the games, I absolutely love it, and I'll play them too as much as possible. What's up? Yeah, I talked to Martin a lot about him playing Steve. Yeah, I know what that character is. So before we wrap this thing up, is there any other questions we got? One in the back.
Will you guys sign this?
No! Yes, absolutely.
That's awesome.
Am I on it?
Yes.
Might be a little awkward if Boone's not on it.
This artwork is great. This was actually the artwork I used for the very first episode of Assist Me. There's a background graphic.
Oh that's right. Now I remember that.
Yeah, it was right there. Ghost Rider's not in this one, so I can't sign it. We're going to pass that around. We're going to get everyone in the crew to sign this. Thanks, dude, for handing that out. Anyone else have any other questions?
Are you going to be here for the next Anime Conji?
I might be. Mike was gracious enough to invite us and give us a panel down here, so I think it's possible. We attended Anime LA, had a pretty big turnout. This one was a lot of fun too, so I'm thinking that, yeah, we might be doing some more conventions every once in a while.
Handling is generally not set in stone until we become adults before a convention. So it's now we can't say, oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think we're definitely trying. I think you guys were mentioning something about maybe not WonderCon, but anime? Yeah.
We have a panel approval panel.
I might be able to go on that one.
It's a really big convention. Anime was trying to get into Simmons?
Yes?
You're trying to do something for AM Square?
Yes, we will be at AM Square.
There you go. AM Square. And then, like Max said earlier, we're going to try to do Evo. Well, I'm sure. We're doing Evo for sure, actually.
We'll be at Evo. I don't know if we're going to have a panel. I hope they'll let us do a panel at Evo. But yeah, because the way we have it scheduled for season 2 is if you come to each one of these panels, we should have exclusive footage to show you at each event. For Fanime, we'll probably have whoever is in the next episode, maybe a little bit of footage from that, or
if anything, more giving people a reason to come out to these things besides this talk.
AM Square will hopefully have the character after that, and Evo Evo's kind of soon after AM Square though, so maybe not, we'll see. But yeah, that's our plan.
And one more question in the back.
Yeah, how much do you agree with
pretty well. Not immediately. I think the tier list in the end ended up being Dante, Dr. Doom, Wesker, Spencer. There's one more? Zero. Okay. I'll totally agree with Zero. I think Zero is the best character in the game. I think that Wesker doesn't deserve to be first. He deserves to be 5th. I don't think Spencer should be on there. Spencer, I don't think Doom deserves to be in top 5 either. He's so top tier. He's pretty top tier. But I do agree with Dante. I think Dante's ridiculous in this one, even more so than he was in the original. And try to hardly think off the top of my head who's the best in this game. Wester's in the top 5. Zero is definitely the best. Yeah, I wish. Rocket Raccoon winning final round was amazing, but he's not top 2. Yeah, it's scary. But I don't know. I think Spencer's high up there, but he takes some accessibility. Any other questions? Yo, Wester. Maybe. We actually might have to go shoot something right after this. Sorry. I might try to show up in the game room eventually. Don't like wait, but I might try to show up.
What time is it open until, do you know?
I don't know if we'll be able to make it if it closes early. We actually have to go on meeting right after this and go shoot something.
We do?
Yeah. Probably, yeah. Probably after like a half an hour, we're gonna have to go shoot. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you guys want us to sign anything, I'm like gracious enough to do so, I guess.
Yeah, you can come up and sign any questions. Yeah, I'm not in my costume. I can go get into it. It's in my car. I'm a bit like a superhero at this point. I actually keep Dr. Doom in my car at all times in case I need to put it on. Or Max calls me and says, "We need to shoot something with Doom. Can you be here?" Okay. So I just go to my car, whip it on. Yeah.
Open the door all dramatic. I'm here.
I seriously need to get in touch with like the twins, Dan and Dave, and have them like Jimmy rig me like, you know, a self suit up, like, you know, thing in my trunk where I pop the trunk and like all these mechanical arms come out and suit me up. Yeah, they're not here. They're at WonderCon, huh?
They're probably out.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there's any other questions or you guys want to get a picture or sign anything, you can come on.
Good time, Paul.
Yeah, we're just wrapping up right now, so it's fine.
Any questions about the show?
Yeah. Let me,
Do we have a marker?
Yeah, you have a marker.
Was there a question that I'm asking? Oh. What about it? I was in it. Yeah, you know what? The thing with the Soul Calibur is we filmed a lot more fights than we showed. It's just that a lot of material really wasn't very funny. So that Soul Calibur was like a cherry picking of the best of the best of the best for like 4 hours just playing it. So yeah, we were really worried about that. Yeah, you want in or out of costume? Take me running out to my car and getting on it and putting it in assembling. Kula.
I need a marker.